Okay, we talked about Germany, and there's one specific thing I want to say. It's like the mentality is also like there are rules that are being made that make sense, okay? But there are so many rules that don't make sense, okay? They just don't make sense. They're basically to just use people for their advantage. And it's like tax money goes to weird spending situations, and it's like where's your pride? Where is your, I don't know, appreciation of older people? Where is all that shit? Because I don't understand it. And there was like this one guy, his name is Andrew Tate. You all might know him. I personally don't agree with everything he says, but there was like this one thing he said, and it was back when we had COVID. And he and his brother, I believe, they were in a hotel in Berlin, in like a really fancy hotel. And they didn't wear masks when they entered, and we had wearing masks was mandatory. So they didn't wear masks, and then these people came up and said, yeah, you really have to use like your mask, and say, yeah, well, whatever, and they didn't do it, and they ran away or whatever. But the thing he said was like that literally every single rule that is made, like for some reason, maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't, and I'm not saying that like wearing masks did not make sense. I'm not saying that, but like that's also applicable for other rules, and like we follow. And even myself, I'm like, this is so weird, and I'm like always very rebellious, but sometimes I'm like, okay, whatever, I don't want to argue with someone, so it's also like my fault. And I'm also in this category because I also like tend to not agree and not do it, but then it's like this inner conflict where I just don't want to stand out as much, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, that doesn't apply to everything. I definitely don't let everything affect me, but in general, this is like a thing. And then it's like he said that, well, there can be the stupidest rule ever, and Germans will just like, they will just follow without questioning it. And this is so true. It's so true. You can make the stupidest rules ever, and in Germany it won't be a problem of convincing people to follow this rule. And this is a certain kind of culture where people feel so secure and just so, I don't know, so safe with rules being taken, and they don't even agree with it, but they follow because it's too much of an effort to speak against it or to do something against it. So where is that kind of power of us people? Because we're a lot of people, and a lot of people agree and disagree with certain things, but like if we would have more of a community, we could just definitely stand up and speak against all that shit that is going on. But somehow it's just not taking place. I don't get it. Literally, like, definitely something has to change.